This is Mr. Collier, and today we're simplifying some algebraic expressions. And the key to simplifying some algebraic expressions is you have to always combine like terms. Okay, so let's look at the first one here. We have this expression 3x plus 7x. They both have the same variable part. They both have an x there, so 3x plus 7x is going to be equal to 10x. We can combine the 3x and the 7x because they are like terms. If this was a y here, we wouldn't be able to combine them. Okay, next we have negative 5x and 4x. Those are like terms, so we can just add together these coefficients. We have negative 5 and 4. Add those together to get negative 1x, which we can just write as negative x if you want. The next one, if we look at the variable parts, this is an x squared, and this one here is an x. So they are not like terms, so you cannot combine them. So in this case, the simplified answer is just 6x squared minus 4x. You can't do anything with it. Let's take a look at a few more. Okay, in this one here we have 4x. And here this is xy, so that's different than x. Here we have x, and here we have xy. So what we can do is we can combine the x's together. We have 4x and negative 6x. Don't forget that negative sign. So we can combine those. 4 plus a negative 6 gives you a negative 2. So we have negative 2x. And we have 2xy and 7xy. We can combine those and we get, 2 plus 7 is 9. So negative 2x plus 9xy. And that's our final simplified expression, because we cannot combine any further because this is an x and this is an xy. They're not like terms. So let's look at the next one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms altogether. Let's look at x squared. Are there any more x squares? There's no more x squares, so this term does not combine with anything. It stays the same. Let's take a look at x. Here's 6x. Here is 1x. Combine those, you get 7x. Now here we have an xy and a yx. Are those the same or are those different? Well, if we look at the product 3 times 4, that is exactly the same as 4 times 3. They both equal 12. Okay? So multiplication is commutative. You can write them in either order you want. So xy is exactly the same as yx. So they are the same here. They are the same variable part. So we can add those together. We have 5xy and 4xy gives you 9xy. And we've taken care of the x's and the x squares and the xy's. The only thing left is the 4y, which remains just 4y. And this is our simplified expression. Okay, a few more. Here we have y, 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 so we can combine all of those. 10 minus 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9, so we have 9y is the simplified expression. In the next expression we have an a squared here and an a squared here, so those are the two that we can combine first. 6a squared plus 5a squared is 11a squared. And then let's look at the a's. We have 9a and a negative 10a. 9 minus 10 is negative 1, or just negative a. And we have a negative 1 there by itself. That's the only constant in the expression, so that stays the same. And that's it. That's our simplified expression. The next one we have, the first term is 2x. So let's look for another x term, and here we have one. That's negative 1x. So 2x minus x gives you x. Okay, that one's taken care of. Negative 3xy, remember xy and yx are the same. So we have negative 3xy and 2xy gives you negative xy. Right? Negative 3 plus 2 gives you negative 1. And lastly we have negative 3y. There's no more y's, so we have to leave that the same. And that is our simplified expression right there. One last problem. In this problem it says find the expression for the perimeter of the trapezium below. Okay, so in this one here we have all four sides of the trapezium. To get the perimeter, you just add up all the sides. So the perimeter is going to be equal to n plus 3 plus m plus n minus 1 plus 2m minus 3. And we can simplify this by adding here the like terms. So here we have an n. Any more n's? We have another n. N plus n is n, or 2n. And next, let's look at the m's. We have m and a plus 2m. Altogether, that's 3m. And if we look at the constants, we have a positive 3, a negative 1, and a negative 3. Altogether, that's going to be minus 1 if we add those numbers together. Okay, so that's our simplified expression for the perimeter of the trapezium.